Christ is the Son of God that conquers the enemies of God. Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Sabbath School Study Group. My name is Chris Bailey, and we are starting a new 5-part series, A Day in the Ministry of Jesus. What would it be like to spend a whole day with Jesus? We don't really have to imagine that. We can read the Gospels. That's why the gift of God to us through Mark is so important. It gives us a perspective of what it would be to follow Jesus so that right now in this life, we can live for Jesus. But before we get started, I want to thank you for watching. We appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Please hit that like button so that others can find this. And remember, share the video with somebody else. And not just the video, you can even go to the website, changeministry.org, where you'll find recipes, there'll be a blog, but above all, Bible studies to encourage and grow our faith. An unforgettable worship service. This is where we jump into the story. And it's here that we see Jesus on the Sabbath day in the synagogue. He's at church. This was his custom, and it was his custom not just because of his culture, it was his custom because of his conviction that God made the earth in 6 days, and on the 7th day, he rested. And that's why Jesus did too. And it's also why we should even today. So going into the story now, we go to Mark chapter 1. Mark 1 verse 23. Jesus was there in their synagogue, but he was not alone. There was a man there with an unclean spirit. And he cried out, saying, "Let us alone. What have we to do with thee, thou Jesus of Nazareth? Art thou come to destroy us? I know thee. I know who thou art, the Holy One of God." And Jesus rebuked him, saying, "Hold thy peace, and come out of him." There is someone who is at church who is possessed by an unclean spirit. This is eye-opening. It is a revelation. It lets us know that not everyone in the house is of the house of God. But no matter what, whoever comes to church, and for whatever reason, when they run into Jesus, they can be changed. Now, notice what the demon says. When the demon addresses Jesus, he says, "I know who you are." And he calls him out by name. And the title that he gives him is the Holy One of God. Now, we could have all kinds of interpretations about what that phrase means and what it actually would entail, but that's why I'm grateful that we don't just have Mark's testimony. We can go to other Gospels that really show us who he's calling Jesus. Over here in Luke chapter 8, verses 26 to 28, when Jesus has an encounter with another unclean spirit, they arrived at the country of the Gadarenes, which is over against Galilee. And when Jesus went forth to land, there met him out of the city a certain man which had devils long time. Notice, devils plural. And wear no clothes, neither abode in any house, but in the tombs. And when he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell down before him, and with a loud voice said, "What have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God Most High? I beseech thee, torment me not." This is another testimony, this time not just from somebody in the pew, but this from a choir of demons, if you could use that term. A group of demons that I shouldn't say choir, that's too much. So this is a testimony from a group of demons. And when they address Jesus, before they even address him, look at what they do. They bow down. This is pointing to his authority. It is pointing to his power, but they also reveal his position when they call him the Son of the Most High God. This label lets us know not just who Jesus is, but it lets us know why he can do what he goes on to do in all these encounters. He has power over these beings because he's had power over them since the days of old in heaven. And whatever Jesus was in heaven, he now is leading that or living that out, or I should even say loving that out here on earth. Even in this gospel, in Matthew chapter 8, verse 28 to 29, again, when Jesus was come to the other side into the country of the Gergesenes, there met him two possessed with devils, coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. And behold, they cried out, saying, "What have we to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God? Art thou come hither to torment us before the time?" So this means the demons they don't just know who Jesus is. They know what he is, but they even know the time. They know that their time is going to come to an end. They're on a clock. They can deceive us to think that they have all power and authority. They have power over us that we give to them. They have authority over us that we give to them, but they don't have all power. Because if they had all power, they would not have bowed to Jesus. And if they had all power, they would not have beseeched him. What do we mean when we say beseeched? Here you see demons praying to Jesus. You see demons talking to Jesus and asking him for permission, asking for him to do something that otherwise he has the authority and the power and even the right to do. If demons have this kind of reverence, if demons have this kind of knowledge of who Jesus is, why can we not have that same knowledge? It's what gives us encouragement to know that we can call on the name of God because we have faith in the Son of God.